Welcome to the Injection Connection, in-depth discussions with thought leaders and professionals in the polyurethane infrastructure repair industry, hosted by Jim Spiegel, Vice President of Alchemy Speed Tech and board member at the International Concrete Repair Institute.
So on this episode of the Injection Connection with myself, Jim Spiegel, we have Ann Thaxton, who has been involved in the in the concrete industry and specifically with chemical grouts for quite some time. So, Ann, I'd like to open up to you and have you just tell us a little bit about yourself and your company.
Okay, great. Thanks for having me on, Jim.
Yep.
So I've been a marketing consultant, a generalist for the past 11 or 12 years, serving several different industries. And I came across the concrete leveling and lifting industry in 2016. I attended an in-depth 3-day marketing training at one of the top dealer networks in the country. And it was pretty much at that point that I realized that this is a really exciting industry right now. So at the beginning of this year, I started a company called Concrete Titans. And I'm just dedicated to the concrete repair and foundation industries. So I partner with concrete leveling businesses nationwide that serve commercial, industrial, and residential markets and helping them to scale their businesses.
Okay, great. Yeah, so I'm actually the reason why I was clicking back and forth there, I'm actually looking at your website.
Yep.
Yeah, so a lot of your expertise is in, I mean, obviously the marketing side of things, but yeah, there's a big push. You know, we see we see it through our customers, of course. You know, we sell to these type of customers. You know, there's a big push, obviously, in social media and the SEO and all of those things. Do you offer support in all of that entire realm of marketing?
I do. I pretty much am a mixed bag, but for home repair industries, really the most effective channel of marketing is lead advertising. So I'm a big proponent of lead advertising because you get a concrete return on your investment. You get a potential client's name, phone number, email address, and why they're contacting you. Maybe their pool deck needs to be raised, or they have a parking lot that needs to be leveled. So that's what I really push the most with this industry is lead advertising. Not only that, but I also really promote the lead nurturing process. So once you get your lead from lead advertising, you start a series of automated emails that go to those people, maybe 2 to 3 weeks, and it educates them on the industry. One of the big challenges of residential concrete lifting is a lot of people don't know that it's a thing. Right. They don't realize that you can repair your concrete rather than replacing it at a fraction of the cost.
Absolutely.
So I think that is a big part of why you need that sort of lead nurturing, so people can start kind of getting their brain around, okay, well, how does this work? How do you raise this concrete, and how long does it take? That sort of thing. So yes, I do search engine optimization, SEO. I do websites. I do email nurturing campaigns for leads, lead advertising. Some sales training. Really more. I look at it as, if you take a business that has maybe 2 rigs and they have 2 crew that are going out, you start them with the basic lead advertising, email nurturing, and hopefully you can get somebody on staff that is a customer service person that does nothing but call these leads the second they come in and kind of helps you build the business from there. So a lot of the nurturing I do for the leads is not just emails, it's occasional texts, it's consistent phone calling until we know if these people are going to convert or if they're not interested. That's what you trying to find out from these leads. So lead advertising all the way.
Okay. And are you heavily involved with the social media side of things?
You know, I believe that you should post on your social media business pages. People do go there occasionally, but the algorithm with that is not what it used to be 5 years ago, even, because Facebook is now a public company. Right. They believe they want to make money. So they are not going to show your posts to the people that like your Facebook page unless you put some money behind it, really. So I do lead advertising on Facebook, which is a great platform for educating people on concrete lifting and that it's a real home repair service. So
got it. So
that's, yeah. So I believe in posting maybe a couple times a week, but then I really believe in lead advertising on social media. And then LinkedIn, if it's a commercial, if you want to build your commercial business.
So when you're saying lead advertising, and excuse my ignorance on it, but essentially the lead capture side of it, is that it?
Yes. Okay. So usually you need to offer something like maybe a $50 off coupon, $100 off coupon. Mm-hmm. And they click through. In order to get that coupon, they have to give you their name and information.
Right.
And then you send them the coupon pretty much immediately and call shortly after that. So that's how that works. Yes.
Do you have any experience with it? Last year, we talked to a few companies that kind of do page tracking. So if companies come to your website and they bounce around your site, there's some solutions where you can get that data, to see, okay, this company was on, they were on for 34 seconds, looked at 2 pages and bounced. Do you get involved with anything like that?
Yes, I actually do have a company that I do that with, and they track that, and then you can reach out to those people. So it's a little bit like retargeting advertising, where you, if people visit your website and then click away, your ad can be served to that person wherever they go next. So it's very much similar to that, but yes, I do offer that service.
Okay. So a big part of our business, obviously, you know our company pretty well. We obviously try to sell provide solutions and support for the lifting material side of things and the equipment. So we have a lot of people, as you know, in the industry, it's very expensive to get into this, just on the equipment side of things. Not as expensive maybe as other business efforts, but you're looking at 50, 60, 70, even more, 100,000 perhaps, depending on your rig setup. So one of the questions we get all the time is, okay, I'm going to invest in this company, in this equipment. What are you going to do for me? And how do I get leads? That's probably the question number one. And we actually see the customers that buy the equipment, the biggest problem we see as far as their success is lack of the marketing or the advertising strategy. So say I'm Joe the builder and I want to get into this, and my first question is how do I start? Where do I even start with marketing and advertiser and lead capture? Could you talk us through what solutions you may offer on that, and any information on monthly budgets?
Yeah. So we have found throughout the industry that for cost per lead, your cheapest cost per lead is digital advertising. Your most expensive cost per lead is TV, and everything else falls in between those. So your average cost per lead with digital advertising runs between $40 and $50 per lead. TV runs around $200 to $250 per lead. Direct mail runs about $150 per lead. Ideally, if you were a more mature company, you would do all of those. because studies show that it takes anywhere between 12 and 18 touch points for somebody to convert to become a customer. So if you're just starting out in the business, your cheapest cost per lead is digital advertising. But I wouldn't just stop there. If you have time on your hands, and if you are able to print up some door hangers and hang them up around neighborhoods where you know they have some problems with their concrete. If you level concrete in one neighborhood, you hang door hangers on both sides of that house and across the street for sure. And you ask your customer if they would please refer people to you, because referrals are really sort of the gold standard here. Referrals are free cost per lead. So once you get really mature as a company, you get so many referrals in that's just gravy on top. But to start out, I would think that you would do a lot of that pounding the pavement type of work to get your name out, and then do some lead advertising. And I have different levels of service. So from the starting service, up to 4+ rig companies. And for a budget right starting out, you can do less than $1,000 a month to get started. It doesn't bring you a whole lot of leads, but it'll get you going.
Yeah, I actually made a note of the 12 to 18 touch points. I remember hearing, you hear a lot of those sort of metrics thrown around. Is that increasing? Like in today's world where there's just so much, coming at you from your cell phone, your Instagram, your Facebook, whatever it is, the amount of emails that we have right now is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Do you think that number of touch points is increasing?
I think if you're just using digital, yeah, I do. I know a company that runs leads for roofers up in Canada, and they usually call between 15 and 20 times before they even get somebody on the phone. But wow. I feel like your touch points go down if you use different marketing channels. So if you call somebody on the phone, well, let me back up there. Say you get a lead in and you get that person as a lead. You call them, you email them, you text them perhaps, you call them again. If you have their address, if you get their address through a phone call, you follow up with a postcard, that sort of thing. So if you can vary your marketing channel when you finally get a lead, the number of touch points goes down.
Makes sense. So you definitely believe in that multi-prong approach where you're kind of hitting them from a bunch of different angles.
I do, I really do, but you really have to be smart about how you layer it on. When you grow as a company, you sort of add a layer. Okay, I'll add some direct mail. Okay, I'll add some radio, that sort of thing.
Yeah, and we actually see a challenge with that as well. It's hard to say no to some things in today's world. Everything just seems to be such a good idea, and the new thing is this, the new thing is that. Do you also offer support in what to say no to?
I do. I really go back to the data. In this world, data is everything, right? So I really think that if you're able to convert your leads and you have trained sales staff that are really effective at converting your leads to start, the ones that you're getting through digital advertising, then you start looking at other marketing channels. And there are a lot of really shiny pennies out there and a lot of great sales guys. Yeah. But I think that if you always keep in mind, how am I going to find out if this is going to work? How am I going to know that this ad is making people call us? The only way you can ask that is if you ask them when they call in, but you're not always going to get the right answer. So I really believe that if you're going to spend the money on advertising, you really need to have some sort of metric or data that comes back to you and tells you exactly what you're getting.
Yeah, absolutely. So what type of solutions do you offer for that as far as the tracking? or I guess what mediums can you use that you track it very well? Like, do you track like your open rates of emails, or are you tracking clicks?
Yes.
Like, okay.
Yes. Yeah. So, for example, when I run lead advertising on Facebook, I track the cost per lead, the number of clicks, the number of impressions, and it breaks down to tell me exactly from day to day how much you're paying. And right now, as a matter of fact, here we are in this coronavirus phase.
Yep.
The cost per lead right now is cheap. I'm getting leads for $11 a lead because everybody's pulled their advertising. I'm running advertising in one of the top 10 markets right now, and we're getting all the leads, and we're still going out and doing assessments and getting things scheduled, not to do the work immediately, but maybe 2 or 3 months down the road.
Right.
But the point is, you're getting a lot of good leads for your money right now.
Yeah, so that's probably an appropriate segue. Not sure when people will hear this episode, but it is appropriate to point out, we're April 16th. We're right in the middle of this crazy coronavirus time, this lockdown period. Do you see homeowners being resistant to have people, come out and give them a quote, or even come to their house? And what's the best way for a foundation business that, foundations are considered essential construction for the safety of the homeowner. What do you see as far as trends for the homeowners being receptive to even talking to people and having them come out right now?
It's different in every market, I'm finding. I talk to these business owners every day, and there's a guy up in Washington State that is doing just fine. He doesn't seem to have any problems. He's had a little bit of slowdown, a little bit of some people postponing their appointments, but not a lot. He's being real transparent, and he's also sending emails talking about how they are operating in this new age of no contact assessments. People are welcome to, have people come out to their home to do the assessment, but the people can stay in their home if they choose and communicate by phone while the business is outside doing the assessment. All of billing after the work is complete can be done through a link in an email right after the business is completed. So there's no direct face-to-face. And the most important thing about this is these businesses should be communicating this and being transparent, posting on social media. We are an essential industry, and we are very serious about making sure our employees stay safe and that our customers stay safe. And here's what we're doing, ABC, to make sure that everybody stays healthy. Posting that on social media, sending that out on email. And then also, the people that they've done assessments for, checking back in with them, maybe shooting them an email or picking up the phone and making sure they're still confirmed for doing the work, or if they don't want to do that, calling them to see if they want to go ahead and book the work for June, July, whenever we get out of this. Just making sure that the businesses are staying in contact with these potential customers. I think it's really important right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I agree with you that it seems like different pockets, different regions are just behaving in different ways. We have we have regional managers throughout the US. And so, I get a really good snapshot on a daily basis of what's happening. And, for instance, Andy, who you may well know in the Southeast, he's still going to sites and offering field support and almost uninterrupted. Same thing with our regional manager out of the Chicago area. He's still doing a lot of work, but then obviously there's other places. I'm in California. It seems to be a little bit more sensitive, to being out and about, but we do have a good customer here, who has a great slab lifting business, and they're staying busy. They're still able to get out there and do the work. But then, New York, obviously the Northeast, that's kind of really pinned
Yeah.
down. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's just such a crazy time
It
right
really
now.
is. But I'll say that there's a guy in Missouri that I work with, and he does a lot of infrastructure and DOT work, and they're slammed right now because nobody's driving on the road, so they can make repairs. So his residential has backed off a little bit, but he's really busy right now with industrial.
Yeah. Yes. And to that point, do you offer, a lot of what we've talked about was on the residential side. Do you offer lead support to some of the industrial opportunities?
I do. That's a really hard market to reach. That really is a little bit more about building the relationship and direct contact. I really don't feel like a lot of those people are on, LinkedIn, or, maybe Google might reach those people if you run Google ads.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like for industrial and DOT people, that's a direct relationship that has to be built.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So your solutions are pretty tailored to the homeowner.
Yes, I think so. And also commercial. I do some work on LinkedIn.
Okay.
But at the same time, when you're reaching people through the residential side, you're also reaching business owners and decision makers there.
Yeah. Now, would your company offer any any follow-up service? Like, would you be willing to help with that? Like, not only set somebody up with lead capture, but also qualification?
We never have offered that before. It's something that I'm open to. I do have a couple of virtual assistants that have done that before and have been trained in that. But really my focus is more on the lead advertising and the website and the SEO and that sort of thing, and making sure the nurturing, the lead nurturing, and doing everything that I can do on my side to help the salespeople convert.
Right. And where do you see the future of the residential? Obviously you're very close to the residential foundation repair.
Yeah.
Do you see any trends or any reason to think that it's slowing down or speeding up?
I don't. I really think this is such a dynamic market. There's been a lot of growth in concrete lifting recently.
Yeah.
And there are just as many businesses out there that are foundation and concrete lifting as there are just concrete lifting.
Yeah.
So I think, foundation repair continues to be more relationship building with real estate agents and, inspectors if you can, but with maybe a little bit of backup on Facebook ads, because that's where a lot of realtors are, on Facebook.
Right.
But yeah, no, with concrete lifting, it's such an exciting time. It's so new and so dynamic, and there's so many different players in the market, and it's a lot of fun to watch it sort of unfold. It's really garnered my interest. Yeah,
certainly. And we have different levels, I would say, of customers that are involved in marketing. Of course, it goes without saying, the more serious you are about it and the better you are at it, obviously the better the results. But some companies seem to have mixed results with, creating video content and, getting content out there. Obviously we're doing a podcast, right? So we're trying a bunch of different things as well ourselves. Do you feel that there's a pretty linear relationship to what you put in is what you get out, as far as dollars spent in advertising and marketing? Or is there kind of a point where it's like, you're probably spending a little too much time doing this stuff than just getting out there and door knocking, for instance?
Yeah. I'm a big proponent of door knocking and just picking up the phone too. But, I think it's really, you can really spend a lot of money on advertising and marketing and not get a lot of return for your dollar. You really just have to pick and choose and assess often and see what works the best for you. But you know, it's hard. You can run ads, print ads all day long in the newspaper, or print ads in home improvement magazines and not see anything for it. And those ads are really expensive. So, you know, I just don't think that's the future. I feel like, you know, in 2019, 70% of the US population is on Google and Facebook. So I really feel like if you're not on Google and Facebook, that's really where you should start.
Right.
With your advertising, and then go from there. So I feel like, especially right now in the situation that we're in, so many more people are on social media than normally.
Right.
So there's a lot of opportunity here. When people are sort of tightening their purse strings, they could really be getting a lot of bang for their buck on this. So yeah, it's so easy to spend a lot of money and just throw money at it and not really understand what you're going to get in return. It really pays a lot to have somebody who's a seasoned marketer that knows what they're doing to be able to help you budget, because it can easily turn into tens and twenties of thousands of dollars for what you're doing. I love podcasts, I will say. I think podcasts are the future. So I see a lot of value there. Videos are really the thing of the future too. Facebook is really, you get a lot more bang for your buck when you run lead ads with video. So finding a local videographer, just if you go on Upworthy or one of these freelancing websites and finding a videographer that has great reviews and have him become your guy to come out and shoot video when you have a project. And that's pretty reasonable. And if you can get the graphics put on, then you're good to go, and you can repurpose that content on so many different places.
Yeah, for sure. And that's the video piece. I agree, you know, collecting as much content as you can, and the ways you can carve it up and use it in different ways is just a really great, and then you have that content, you know.
Yes.
You know, it never goes away. And you know, we're actually making a big push to that right now with getting a lot more site footage, you know. So if we're out there giving, you know, if we're out there doing the work, you may as well be taking some video and getting some content. And you know, with the lifting stuff, like the time lapse footage is just fantastic, you know. So
it is. And it shows how the process is done. It's very simple. It seems like a lot of people with their video content, they really try to make it be grand and big and fabulous. Right. But really what works the best is showing how it's done. Step 1, drill the hole. Step 2, you know, however it's done.
Yep, absolutely.
And it's just simple for people to understand and grasp.
Absolutely. Well, we're hitting this 30-minute mark, and we try to wrap things up. So we're going to wrap it up. But one of the messages I do hear you saying that kind of stood out, and I actually notated, is, you know, in this tough time when people start to kind of watch their spending and cut their spend, that perhaps, you know, these marketing dollars are more efficient today now than ever, right?
Yes, really, they are. You can get a lot of return for your money right now, and you can market to these leads for months and months to come. You can use your email list to market to people on any social media platform, and you can retarget ads to those people too. So your email list is golden.
Absolutely. And if they want more information from you personally, being an expert in this, it's concretetitans.com. Is that right?
Correct. concretetitans.com, or shoot me an email, Ann, at concretetitans.com.
Perfect. Well, thanks a lot, Ann. Really appreciate your time and your information, and stay safe and well.
Thanks. You too, Jim. Have a good day.
Okay. Thanks.
Uh-huh.